Welcome to another edition of the Thomas Expert Series. Thank you for joining us today. We're going to get started in a minute. Please just double check, make sure your microphones are muted. And we'll get started in just a second. Just want to see where everyone is tuning in from today. Hopefully we have some international people today. I'm in New Jersey. Aaron, are you in New Jersey too?
I am.
Nice. Got Philly and New Jersey in here. Is that Michigan?
Yep.
Yeah. California, Delaware, Puerto Rico, Vancouver. All right, we'll go ahead and get started. I'm going to turn it over to Aaron here to talk about Consolidated One-Stop Shopping internationally with Thomas.
Yeah. Thanks everyone for making time to hear our presentation, and for anybody who's already done business with Thomas, thank you very much, and we hope to support you more in the future. So I'll jump right in. So why choose Thomas? There's a lot of lab suppliers, in the U.S. and globally. Just to tell you a little bit of background about our company, we're one of the oldest laboratory suppliers in the U.S. and really the world. We were founded in 1900 in Philadelphia. We relocated to another distribution facility in New Jersey, just maybe 20 miles away from our home office in 1980. And we've been supporting customers internationally from there and a variety of other distribution centers all over the US and Puerto Rico. Um, we've been supporting customers internationally for over 40 years. In fact, we have our own dedicated export sales team, customer service, shipping. So we understand the complexities to international business, and we have the resources and experience to support you wherever you may be. Advance. So again, just to kind of speak about our export capabilities, we currently support customers and ship on a regular basis to over 140 countries worldwide. So really just all of the Americas, Europe, Middle East, Africa, Asia, Oceania, virtually everywhere in the world. If there's no restrictions in terms of US conducting business with where you're located, we can help you, and we do. Thomas has a huge portfolio. We have over 1 million products in our portfolio. We offer all the top brands, over 3,000 different scientific brands of products that you know and you or your clients are looking for on a regular basis. And even more recently, we've expanded and developed an even more robust Thomas brand portfolio. So if there's opportunities or initiatives within your company for cost savings, we have 15,000 plus products within our own Thomas brand portfolio that we can help you with. Um, a large majority of them are actually made in the US. They're very high quality. Many are produced actually from the same brands that you see advertised on our website. And we're happy to do an evaluation of your needs and see if that's a good solution. If not, then again, we have over 3,000 of the leading brands to offer. So we have a solution depending on your needs. Just to speak on the cost of sourcing from a lot of suppliers, this can be a costly endeavor, even if you're a US based company, but if you're international, the costs increase. So if you're buying specific products from different suppliers in the US, obviously you're tracking different POs and ETAs. There's individual freight and clearance cost involved with importing those products. And so the solution with Thomas is we really are a one-stop shop. We have, again, over 1 million products to offer you, and in many cases, whatever category of product you're looking for, if it's to support some sort of scientific endeavor, a laboratory testing lab, we have a product to support you. And there's an advantage to consolidating that with us to cut down on the cost of chasing all those POs or potentially having to incur additional import duties and freight charges for every individual PO that you place. So again, just to delve into kind of the scope of our portfolio, lab consumables, we have hundreds of thousands of items. I just gave a few examples of some of the brands and types of products we offer. So, all of the popular brands like Corning, JG Finneran, DWK, Eppendorf, Griner, Celltreat, Labcon, and virtually any kind of lab consumable you or your client may need, we offer it. Same goes for equipment and instrumentation. Whether it's benchtop, small instrumentation, or large format items like freezers and incubators, we have everything under the sun that you possibly could need. And again, just some examples of the brands we offer: Eppendorf, Benchmark, Labconco, Erlab, Horizon, so many. So depending on your needs and your budget, we have a solution for you, and we're happy to have a conversation and make sure we're, positioning the right products for your needs. And same for chemicals and chromatography. I think in particular, we have a lot of international clients that come to us for high quality chemicals, US branded products, that are well regarded and trusted in the market that may be challenging to source in your particular region. And so we're happy to help you with those items, in particular. So again, any kind of chemical or chromatography related product, we typically have a solution. And you can see some of the leading brands we offer. We've had a long, storied history with Millipore Sigma. We have access to virtually everything in their portfolio. And then we have a lot of other brands like Honeywell, Rika, Decon, GFS, Labcon, and Spectrum. Um, and then for leading chromatography brands, ResTech, PerkinElmer, JG Finner, and Hamilton, YMC. So again, the story here is that we cover all the bases. We cover all the different types of products you could offer, and chemicals is a particularly strong part of our portfolio. We're happy to help you with them. And one area that maybe not all clients are familiar with is that we have a robust critical environment or safety portfolio. So if you are, either managing or supporting a client that has a production facility, we have a very capable portfolio of products to support, whether it's gloves, gowning, shoe covers, wipers, clean room bags, virtually anything that's, used inside of a critical environment. We have a solution for it, whether it's something to protect, the technicians inside of the facility, from the products that are being produced, or vice versa. You need to ensure that there's no contamination from those operating inside the facility. We can offer virtually anything you need to ensure that we're meeting the standards of your SOPs and the critical environment kind of ISO class that you operate under. And again, I spoke about our Thomas brand portfolio. We've had some Thomas brand products on the market for a very, very long time. If you're familiar, if you're an international customer, you may not be the most familiar with Thomas Scientific, but you may have heard of our Wiley mills, very popular lab milling products that have been in the market for since the 1950s. That's been one of our leading products for many, many years. And then just over the last few years, we've begun developing an even more robust portfolio. And at the moment, we have over 15,000 different products: lab consumables, chemicals, cell culture products, benchtop equipment and instrumentation. So again, if there's some initiatives in your facility to reduce the cost of your procurement, we're happy to discuss some of those options. And as I mentioned before, the majority of them are made by the same leading brands that we have on our website. And of course, we can speak as highly as we like about our products, but ultimately it's how they perform. And so, if there's an opportunity to present cost savings to you, and you're just looking for an alternative, we're happy to give you samples. And really, the most critical thing, and I think everyone who lived through the pandemic dealing with procurement challenges knows that lead time is a lot of times more important even than cost savings. And so the other advantage to our Thomas brand portfolio is that we stock over 97% of them at all times. And if you have particular needs, whether it's a Thomas brand or otherwise, of ongoing specific items that you need on a monthly basis that are critical that you can never, run out of stock of, we can set up programs to ensure that we are delivering those items to you at a timely basis, and ensuring that there's never a work stoppage because you're out of an item. And again, I mentioned, we have over 40 years of export experience at Thomas Scientific. So just to go into a little more detail on that, we have our own dedicated export documentation compliance team. So whatever your particular requirements are from an importation perspective, whether it's just typical things like invoices, or more complex things like certificates of origin or free trade agreement documentation like USMCA, formerly known as NAFTA, all the other kind of certificates that may be required by you or your client, certificates of conformity, IMOs if we're shipping ocean freight, SDSs and CFAs, of course, we're happy to provide. And then in our warehouse, we have a dedicated export packing team. So we know there's some challenges with transporting goods from one country to another. A lot of things can go wrong, so we have dedicated people that ensure that we're packing things appropriately for from a hazardous perspective for air freight. And then if you have special requirements due to particular importation compliance needs, we can ensure that we're meeting them. So any kind of unique requirements you have, typically we can support you with them. It's just a matter of having a conversation and getting all that set up before the PO's processed. But we do these things on a regular basis, and we ship to 140 countries worldwide. So we have a lot of experience and are happy to help you with those needs. Again, we transport really via any method you could think of. So if it's smaller items that we can ship door to door or DAP, we offer FedEx, DHL, UPS. We even offer some additional carriers if there's a particular need in your region and there's one particular service provider that's better than another. Let's have a conversation about that because in most cases we can accommodate it. And then for larger procurement needs, and again, the whole value out of Thomas is that we're a one-stop shop, which means it's ideally you're sourcing a number of items that have to be shipped kind of in a larger format. And so we have our own dedicated freight forwarder partner located just 15, 20 miles from our office called Jade International. We've been working with them for many, many decades. They're happy to help. They have a significant amount of expertise with regards to getting products from the U.S. into a particular country. But if you have your own freight forwarder and you really appreciate the service they provide, or they can offer a particular rate that is no one else can beat, that's fine. We're happy to arrange collection from our facility for that, or we can ship directly to that freight forwarder's domestic location. We do this on a near daily basis. So, whatever your shipping needs are, we have a solution to accommodate. And again, as for anything of a higher complexity, we have solutions for them. So I mentioned before, if there's particular items you have a critical need for and cannot have any situation where you have a shortage of an item, it could result in a stoppage of work and could be a very costly issue. We have solutions for that. So we can set up reserve inventory programs. We actually set up a unique part number just for you as the customer, which means that when we bring those items in and have them stocked in our warehouse, they are only allocated to you. No other customer could even inadvertently purchase them. So any kind of long-term ongoing usage needs you have, we have solutions to ensure that we always have stock available and ready to ship to you. And again, a big value add we have is that we can consolidate. So again, we have over 1 million items in our portfolio, which means typically you can source virtually everything you have a need for in your laboratory or your client's laboratory, and put them all together into one consolidated shipment. So whether that's just one larger blanket PO, or if it's multiple orders you'd prefer be consolidated and shipped together, we're happy to do either of those things to help reduce your freight costs and import duties. And again, anything beyond that, any kind of unique requirements, we typically have a solution. And again, since the pandemic, especially, there's been even more kind of additional importation requirements in a lot of regions, some additional documentation and approvals needed. So we're happy to give you, any documentation that's required to ensure that the products can clear customs and get to you in a timely manner. And multinational support. So if you're an organization that possibly is headquartered in the U.S. but has operations throughout the world, we have solutions for that as well. We support a number of multinational corporations, and the advantage of working with Thomas is that We can provide a consistent service, consistent pricing, consistent everything, depending on regardless of where your site is. So corporate level pricing, whether you have a facility in California or Sri Lanka, if you're set up with an account with Thomas, you'll have a consistent experience everywhere. And if there's contractual agreements required, we're happy to entertain them. We have several kind of high level multinational contractual relationships with corporations to ensure that we're in alignment and compliance with your needs. We're happy to have that conversation and discuss it further. And a big advantage of setting up an agreement like this is that we offer rebates. So they can certainly be paid at the corporate level if that's preferred, but we're also happy to do that at the site level. So depending on the particular usage and spend of each individual site, we can allocate those particular rebate payments to every site, so everyone is receiving some of the benefits of the cost savings for consolidating with Thomas. So again, depending on your needs or your requirements or your preferences, we're happy to have a conversation about that and make sure we're set up to align with your expectations. And to talk about our purchasing options, so we have a dedicated export international sales team that's happy to help you with requirements. If your company uses an e-procurement service provider like Coupa or Jagger, any of the SAP platforms, we have a dedicated e-procurement specialist that can help and ensure that we're set up properly so you can order via that platform rather than direct if that's an easier process for your organization. Also, important to know, we're happy to help you directly from the US. But if you're in a particular region where you really would prefer a local service provider, or possibly you have some requirements to transact in local currency rather than USD, we have qualified dealers in virtually every country throughout the world. So if it's more convenient for you to work with someone local, we're happy to connect you with someone and make sure that you're receiving the same service that you'd receive if you were to buy from Thomas directly. And then lastly, I'll speak about our website. We're continuing to evolve and add additional export capabilities. Right now, really the greatest tool from an international perspective for the website is that we can help you get logged in. We can set you up with appropriate pricing structures for your organization. So you can go online on our website and check and confirm your net unit prices for everything. And obviously, if there's bulk opportunities, if there's any kind of unique requirements you have, certainly our export sales team's happy to have that conversation with you. But we like to have our website to be a useful tool for you as well, especially with time zone changes. Maybe you're in a rush and need an answer quickly on what the price of something is, and our office isn't yet open due to some time zone changes. This at least you have an additional resource to access. And that's really it. I just want to say thank you again for anyone who's already worked with Thomas. Thank you very much for your business. It's very much appreciated. And I hope this presentation's given you a better overview of our export capabilities and our history as a company. And our export sales team's here to help you, and happy to have a conversation following the meeting for any particular needs you may have.
Thanks, Aaron. While everyone is typing out their questions, I just want to take a moment and take you guys to the expert series. And some of the literature that was talked about today is inside the kiosk, as well as web links and videos. This talk will be on demand within 24 hours, so let your colleagues know how much you enjoyed it today. So that'll be right here. And also you can register for some upcoming talks.
Sure. So I see a couple questions in the chat. So, with regard to restrictions, there's very few, but with a portfolio of 1 million products and us being a U.S. based company, there may be a couple things that are a little more challenging. So I would say, at the moment at least, dry ice items, items that require -20 Celsius can be a challenge. Um, with that said, if you have your own cold chain transportation solution available to you, and we can drop ship directly to a freight forwarder who can offer that, we're more than happy to provide those. But otherwise, I'd say anything that's -20 C or lower is probably one of the very few, categories of products that are a little challenging to source internationally. And there's a couple suppliers, some of the brands we offer that may have some distribution restrictions that prefer we distribute in the U.S. But the good news, again, with a million plus portfolio and 3,000 different brands, we have many alternatives to offer. So we're happy to have that conversation to ensure we're supporting you. I see a question. Can a customer buy hazardous goods from Thomas? Yes. It's again going back to our export capabilities. It can be kind of overwhelming and challenging trying to source a particular chemical that possibly is only available from a U.S. chemical supplier. We have that ability. We can ship air freight or ocean freight, many hazardous chemicals. Some of them actually even can be shipped DAP via FedEx. So again, let's have that conversation and make sure we're supporting you and we can ensure that we can deliver the products to you on a timely basis. What companies have restrictions to ship out of the country? Really, just maybe less than 10 of our 3,000 suppliers have some restrictions. So, a common one would be Agilent. They have their own distribution model internationally and prefer that you work with them with their own preferred dealer in a particular country. So there are exceptions like that. But again, the good news is if you're open to alternatives, especially like Agilent chromatography vials. We have phenomenal USA-made alternatives from a company, JG Finneran, for example. So again, with a portfolio as big as ours, we typically have an alternative to ensure we're giving you a product that meets your requirements. Let's see here. With over 1 million products, do you have specialists to help I think Dr. Carl Hilker set up a question for himself here. So besides our phenomenal export sales team, we also have a network of specialists that can ensure we're giving you the right service. So something of a higher complexity, whether it's clinical diagnostics or a cell and gene therapy lab or a variety of things, we have dedicated PhD level experts on our team that we can bring into the conversation and make sure that we're meeting your needs with their expertise involved. We had another question regarding payments. We typically have historically worked exclusively in U.S. dollars, but we're actually literally right now in the process of offering exchange services. So effective actually immediately, we can help you with exchanging euros to U.S. dollars. So if you're in a country right now with limited access to U.S. dollars, it can really reduce your buying power and be a big problem for you. Let's have a conversation about that. Our bank offers exchange services that we just added as a capability. So we're happy to have that conversation with you and hope we can support you to ensure that we're maximizing your buying power regardless of the access to U.S. dollars. No, Patrick, unfortunately, we're not yet at Bitcoin. I would not recommend that. It's a bit of a volatile currency. But outside of that, we're happy to have a conversation. I'll give people another minute or two if there's any other questions. If not, happy to give everyone 5 minutes back. And as Heather mentioned, the conversation's recorded if you want to refer back. And then the room in our platform has a variety of resources. And if there's anything there you're looking for that you don't see, again, reach out to us. We're happy to have a conversation, make sure we're getting you the right information.
Thank you very much, Aaron. I hope everyone has a great rest of your day.
Thank you all.
Thank you, Aaron.
Thank
Take
you.
care. Bye-bye.
Thanks.